So now I'm going to put on my other cap, not as your doctor, but as your trainer, your exercise movement coach. As I mentioned yesterday with regards to diabetes, the body has got this built-in mechanism where in times of exertion, it will allow sugar from the bloodstream. That's the sugar that you digest, mostly in the form of carbohydrates, from the food groups you eat and swallow into the stomach. The stomach, with its acid, melts everything and then passes it on to the small intestine. Small intestine pulls all the nutrients out, sends it to the liver. Liver sends it to the rest of the body through the blood vessels. That's that highway. Once the packets of energy get into the blood vessels or the highway, just like cars carrying passengers on the Illinois interstate, the objective is to have that highway transport and get the vehicles to the end destination. In the case of diabetes, your packets of energy want to get off the exit ramp into the neighborhoods. And sometimes in diabetes, especially what used to be called type 1, you don't produce insulin, and that means you don't have a toll pass to get off the interstate. So if you don't have a toll pass, you constantly circle on the highway system until something bad happens. And then your neighborhoods, your destination organs suffer because they have no packets of energy. Type 2 diabetes, until you get the toll pass, which is insulin, into your car, secreted from the pancreas, and then you can pass from the highway through the toll into the neighborhood, or through the exit into the neighborhood. That's type 1. Type 2 diabetes is when you have enough insulin. This is usually what most Americans have, this kind of diabetes. It used to be that kids would never have type 2 diabetes. But now we're finding, because of the amount of obesity in youth, kids are coming up with this type 2 diabetes. So anyway, the second type of diabetes is when you actually produce the insulin. The pancreas is working okay, but the cells, the neighborhoods, and I guess the toll pass doesn't have, the gates are all down. So even if you have a toll pass, the toll exits will not let you through because for some reason the little transponder receptor thing is not working. It doesn't recognize you have a toll pass. So again, you're stuck on the highway. So that's type 2 diabetes. Both of these are, I think, controlled via decreasing the caloric intake, working on carbohydrates per day, keeping it minimal, exercising, and relaxation. So as I was alluding to with exercise, the theory is that with, say, being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, you're diabetic or not diabetic, you still need that insulin, you still need that sugar to get in to every cell and every muscle so you can take off and run or protect yourself, fight or flight. So in times of stress, times of exercise, believe it or not, the backdoor escape is that sugar can get into the cell if you're exercising without insulin. So even if you have insulin, even if you don't use insulin, what better way than just to increase your exercise? But I don't think a lot of people realize that. So that's something you can definitely take advantage of if you understand the concept. But not too many people will exercise, or without the proper coaching, you won't understand that it's important to get activity out.
Comprehension is at this point, you know.
Well, she called last night. You know.
Yeah. She sounded pretty good. But I was cool because I had a really good pace that day.
Watching go down this hill.
5 people. Speaking of exercise, right? That one guy that's leading, gray-haired, body mass index is low, he's able to talk, so he's used to the run, but he's leading, and they're all getting glucose from the highway system, the blood stream, into each cell. They're getting out of the bloodstream, into the brain, into the muscle, like you saw them running with, into the heart, into the kidney, whether they have insulin or not, whether the cells understand or have the receptors for that insulin or not, the sugar is getting in. So, as I was alluding to, you don't have to join a gym, you don't have to practice for a marathon. A lot of my attendees yesterday had some weight issues, which is typical for diabetes, but I don't expect anybody to just start training for a marathon. I think walking would be fine. That's a form of exercise and easy enough to do even if you have arthritis. Just have to find gravel like this, soft surfaces. Maybe we should avoid hills like that. This is Swallow Cliff stairs, Palos Hills, so there's a huge incline coming up. But you don't have to do that, you just have to get out. And if you watch my walking videos, 10 minutes away from your front door, then turn around 10 minutes back, that's good enough. Right then and there, when you finish that 20-minute ordeal, number one, it's easy to attain. Number two, you don't have to work up a sweat. Number three, you don't have to have a fancy membership. Number four, anyone can do it. I mean, if you can get in your car, drive through the drive-through, or park in a parking lot, walk up the flight of steps to your workstation, you can get out and walk your block. 10 minutes up, 10 minutes back. Nice sunrise. So that is the beauty of exercise. Haven't seen any research to say that with relaxation practice, meditation, or yoga, that sugar gets in through this back door to muscle, but I'm sure it's coming. All the studies show that if you do some form of relaxation practice, your postprandial hemoglobin A1Cs, that's the sugar after you eat, the average is decreased. And also relaxation exercise or practice, if you can find somebody to teach you, keeps you solid and makes the change in life and the relative restriction in your calories and carbohydrates, your nighttime fasting compared to what you're doing before, makes the change much easier to tolerate. If you're all stressed out and I tell you, okay, we're going to cut back your calories, we're going to make you exercise, you must go to sleep at a certain time, that's pretty stressful if you're not used to it. For me to suggest exercise to a person that doesn't exercise, that's daunting too. So you have to be empowered, or you have to have specific designs that'll be successful with you and sustainable. So again, being accountable, having a goal, understanding your disease process, understanding how changes specifically for you applied to your life might get you to control your disease, and then hiring coaching staff, becoming accountable to somebody, even doing something a little more than just assuming that if you dedicate your next 3 months to exercise, if that's all you do and you depend on rolling out of bed at 4:30 in the morning, which is what I did, getting yourself set when it's still dark, driving to a destination, anticipating some training, if you think that promising yourself all that and then actually doing it when you're first waking up in the morning, if you have no deadline, goal, or plan, you think it's going to happen, it's probably not going to happen. If you have it on a if you have a buddy system like that group of hikers or runners, trail runners, or if you have a deadline, if you commit yourself to saying Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm doing it, no matter what, get your sneakers and your clothes, check out the weather the night before. If everything's all prepped, the likelihood of you actually rolling out of bed and attaining your goal is a lot easier. So if you just say, yeah, I'll exercise, or as I mentioned in the last video, those folks who say, I know what to do, I just have to do it, you don't know what to do. And I think that, I don't mean that as a bad way, but bad statement, but really, if what you learned to do before did not sustain itself, then it has to be redesigned, and you have to think outside the box about doing something else that will be sustainable for you and your particular circumstances. And if you're not well versed in exercise, not well versed in nutrition, not well versed in how to develop a relaxation practice using a wide variety of different things that have proven themselves helpful, then how are you supposed to design your own program? Don't accept the fact that you know what to do, you just have to do it. If you cannot sustain anything in the form of, I guess, just with this concept of exercise and sugar, get out and find somebody who knows. American College of Sports Medicine graduates folks every year, every 6 months, I believe, that have been trained and certified to have a decent knowledge base on a wide variety of different things. Exercise physiologists actually go to school for a thesis and about a 2-year, I think, 2-year to 4-year program. Physical therapists that have also been trained as athletic trainers have dual knowledge, not only with rehab, but also with designing exercise, looking at kinetics for exercise. And then there's people like me, sports medicine docs, that kind of can point you in the right direction or get within the insurance system or outside the insurance system knowledgeable help.